Alrighty. Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt from RCoverload. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Axial Yeti. Going over some of my opinions, my views, and my thoughts on it, really. So again guys, my opinions, my thoughts, my views. Real quick, before we get into this, I'm just getting this out of the way. I've had a couple of situations where several people have gotten after me about the way I pronounce the word axial. I sometimes pronounce axial like axle without realizing it. So I'm putting it out there. I do not always pronounce words 100%. So I apologize ahead of time. No, I'm not trying to be an ass or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, I don't always pronounce things 100% correctly. Okay? I may stutter. I may lose concentration. I apologize. Okay? So, anyways, with that said, let's talk about this thing. Wow. Totally, 100%, completely awesome. I've been watching a few other people's videos, and I have come to the conclusion that it's a 50-50 mix with this Axial Yeti. Okay? Some people are happy about it, some people are not. Me, I'm ecstatic. I love it. I have a Traxxas Revo 3.3, I have an Axial SCX10, and I have a Traxxas 1/16 Revo. I can say that if my Nitro Revo was not a Nitro, and it was just electric, I would get rid of that and get another one of these. Put it into perspective, okay? With that said, I want to talk about some of the good things and some of the bad things about this vehicle. But the bad things about this vehicle, they're not that big of a deal. It's something that all of us are pretty much at one point or another are going to be replacing and upgrading anyways. So, let's start off with the bad things, because you guys are staring at this thing right now wondering what the heck happened to that wheel. Because you watched my video yesterday, and that wheel was not like that. Right. Well, I can tell you that when I got home and I started taking it apart, I realized that the screw, okay, there's a screw. It's a pin screw set up. If it'll focus here, as you can see, it is bent. That screw holds on the lower control arm to the body. Okay, so the screw came out a bit, and I noticed that after the first run, that the screw was starting to come out of the hole a little bit. And it must have done that again on the second run, after I tightened it back up. And it must have been out just far enough that when it impacted one of the times, that control arm just took it and boop, bent. So I am in need of a new one of those, on top of a few other things. So that's why the tire is like that. I just don't have the pin holding in the lower control arm right now, so it's just flopping around. The thing that happened was the rear tire fell off the bead. Very few of us right now, or actually a good portion of us, have experienced the tire falling off the bead. Why is that, you say? Because these are, in my opinion, half-fast beadlock rims. They are not beadlock rims. They are a look-alike. Let's try to make it seem like it's a beadlock, but it's really not a beadlock. And we're going to put it onto a 3S LiPo vehicle and hope it holds on a 2.2 size tire with a ton of torque. Sorry, that's just my opinion on that. So the rims, they look okay, they look cool. Functionality, get rid of them. They are not going to do you any justice whatsoever. They hold on for a little bit. I was lucky enough to at least get 2 runs. I know there's a few people that got 5 minutes in and I think they broke the tire off the bead. So get rid of the rims, junk those, you know. I know there's not too many options right now, but give it time. There'll be more companies coming out with more rim options, more affordable rim options. I know a lot of us can't afford the Vanquish rims right now. I know I can't, you know. While we're speaking on the subject of tires and rims, the tires, yeah, they're not that bad. They break loose a little too easily. So it's can be sometimes hard to control. When it's going over the rocks, the tires seem to grip and do very well. When it's on soft sand or dirt, expect this car to break loose a lot. And that's just from that crazy torque and power that you're getting out of this brushless motor. So, especially on 3S, does not help. So, the tires, they're alright, but they could, in my opinion, they're going to be upgraded to something a little bit better. Something that I can get a little more traction out of. Still want to break loose, but I want to have control over it. So, I want to talk about the steering on this thing. Okay, I understand the steering is all plastic. There's a lot of weight and power going into this when it corners and whatnot. The steering sucks. Straight up sucks. And it's not even so much from the plastic parts, because I can understand that. They're plastic. They're going to bend. You know, it's stock. It's not metal links or whatnot. The turnbuckles aren't solid 100%. But the steering servo in this thing sucks. After the first run, I wanted to take it out and just whip it out my window and put in a Traxxas one in, you know? But I'm not going to do that yet. I am now, because after the second run, I just can't take it anymore. It does well when you're already going really fast and you got to turn the wheels as you're, going around corners. If you're going slow and you're going through rocks or you're going through a little bit of a difficult terrain, do not expect that steering servo to help you out of any situation. Get rid of it. 151 ounces of torque in this is way too underpowered for it. Right now, I haven't looked too much into what servos are out there for different torque ounces, what the options are. I mean, heck, I'd be really comfortable probably going with another Savox waterproof servo that I've got in my Axial SCX10 that has 208 ounces of torque. I think that would be a little more substantial than 150. Again, this is my opinion. So that's steering. The shocks, they're basic. They're stock. There's going to be upgrades. They do well. They handle well. I pretty much blew out the rear shocks in mine from doing those kind of jumps, but for the most part, they aren't that bad. I got to give them credit on that one. Springs are a little weak, in my opinion. I'd like to see a little bit stiffer springs in it. But that's just my style of driving. Let's talk about the hubs. Another weak point in the Axial Yeti. They break a lot because of the pin that goes inside of them that holds it in, makes the connection for the wheel to the axle. Hey. Sorry, that's my cat. There's just a lot of power there. There's not a lot of strength in the plastic hubs to hold that there. So aluminum hubs are definitely going to be in the future with this. So that's that. I kind of expect that. The drive shafts seem pretty good. No complaints there. The bearings, I've already started to have a couple problems with it. I got some squeaking going on in there, if you guys could hear it a little bit in the last video. So I'm going to try to see what there is for upgrades. The body, the plastic body, the roll bars, they held up very, very nicely. There's no cracks, no bends, no dings in it or anything. I'm trying to do this without dropping too much sand on the ground. Yeah, too late. So yeah, the body does very well holding up. My opinion on the fact that you can raise the front of the body up, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I like the idea, the concept of it. But again, I'm running a 3S LiPo battery, and it's very thick. And the main purpose for that, one of the things that Axial was trying to promote about it is that you can just lift the body up, push the battery in, and you're good to go. The problem I've been having is when the vehicle is sitting up, and you go to lift up that body, okay, just a little bit, it only goes up that high. Now, if you guys can see, hold on, it only goes up about that high. Now, as you guys can probably see, the body is actually in the way of the battery compartment. So I still can't get my battery to go in. I still have to pull the body completely off. So, yeah, it sucks, but overall I think the idea and the concept of lifting the body up instead of having to pull the two back ones off are pretty cool. I love that idea. Functionality, Anyways, it'll be cool to at least work on the front end a little bit if you need to adjust shocks or you need to tighten something. That'll certainly help. I mean, heck, you could take this, put a pin in, mount it up somewhere, and like have it resting, so you have like a hood prop, basically. Because it does kind of get a little annoying trying to hold this up while you're working on it a little bit. Otherwise, I think that's pretty cool. The motor, awesome, love it, fast, torquey, strong. Transmission, no complaints there. The power delivery is right there. So the motor and transmission, great combo. I love that. I don't know if I'm going to upgrade the motor yet. We'll see. But I think I'll just use this one for like a year or something like that, and then we'll upgrade the motor at that point, maybe. Drivetrain, not bad. Rear drive shaft sucks. It's already really loose. Let's see if I can show you guys. I don't know if I can. But there is significant play inside of this section of the drive shaft connecting to the rear differential. I've already got twisting going on in that center spline area right there where it makes that connection, if you guys can see it. That's already starting to twist. So I'm going to be looking for a metal upgrade on that. The front one is completely metal, so I'm not worried there. I cannot wait to get metal links all around. That's going to be one of the biggest upgrades on this. Just like the Axial SCX10, when everybody did the link upgrade on that, it was like driving a whole brand new vehicle. So I can't wait for that. Otherwise, I think this vehicle is awesome. I mean, yes, I did say it had some problems. I wasn't too happy about some things. Overall, the fact when you're out there and you're running it and you're jumping it and you're bashing it and you're climbing up hills and you're making it drift all over the place, that moment when you're driving it, those problems don't exist. It's fun. It is a blast. Just like any other RC car, you're gonna need to upgrade certain parts in it. And that may have been a reason why Axial left everything pretty much plastic, so people could upgrade them. Make it similar to the SCX10 to make it interchangeable, get vendors out there to start building products. I mean, this rig has potential to be a crawler, has potential to be a basher. You know, rock crawling competitions. This thing has a lot of potential to be anything you want to make it. You just got to be willing to spend a little bit of money and time into making it that way. And I'm hoping soon that there'll be a lot more vendors coming out with a lot more products and cool accessories. I already have a list going right now. Pretty much every vendor that makes something for it, I'm getting for this thing. So that's pretty real quick talk about two things. One, when you get your Axial Yeti, I want you to go over every single nut, bolt, screw. I don't care if you think it might be tight. Snug everything up. I could not tell you how many bolts and screws I actually had loose on this thing. Every single wheel was loose. And I think that might be a big problem with some people and destroying the hubs, is the nuts just aren't tight. I mean, I crank them down, and I didn't have any problems until the end of the second run. So yeah, check everything. I mean, the body, the screws up here at the back of the body here, the frame, I mean, those were loose. The steering was loose. The axles were loose. The hub carriers were loose on this thing. I mean, there wasn't one screw that probably wasn't tight. Everything was loose. So I snugged everything up, and I think that's what helped me out a little bit, get a little extra runtime out of it before something broke. And the second cool little thing that I found out is the blue wheel nuts. These blue wheel nuts, they are the exact same as the Traxxas 1/16 E-Revo / and Summit. Yes, they are the exact same. So Traxxas has green ones, blue ones, and I think even silver ones. So if you want to change them out to any one of those three colors, you certainly can by getting a Traxxas one. Trust me, I've tried them. Same thread pitch, same size, everything. It's the exact nut. So there you go. That's my little overview on the Axial Yeti. Again, I am very excited about this thing. You know, I mean, the sway bar setup, that's pretty cool, but I'm going to be getting rid of that, you know, if I want to do crawling. And, I mean, it's making a little bit of noise. That's for shocks. Overall, I think this is a fantastic rig. I think, honestly, it's good for anybody, even beginners. You just got to go easy on it, honestly. It has a lot of stability, to be perfectly honest. And that has to do with the wide tires being far out. So, there you guys go. That's it. I'm done talking. Thanks for watching. And, again, these are all my opinions, thoughts, and feelings on it. So, stick around, guys. I'm going to be doing a build video starting soon on this. And we're going to be doing some crazy stuff to it. And as always, guys, I will see you next time on the next RC Overload. See you guys.